Today in this session we will be discussing the classification of fungi. The fungi are classification is based on very important children, structure of mycelium. I have already explained you what is mycelium. Then mode of spore formation. Okay, so they have different types of spores. So in what way the spores are formed, whether they are formed exogenously, endogenously, what are the sexual spores, what are the asexual spores, basing on that the fungi are classified. Then the third one is the fruiting bodies. Fruiting bodies means the structure in which the spores are formed. Okay, so these are the basis of a classification. So very important, this comes as your 3 mark question, or that is a 1 mark question or 2 mark question. Now on the basis of this, the fungi are classified into phycomycetes, ascomycetes, basidiomycetes, and the last one is deuteromycetes. Okay, so let us discuss one by one. The first one is phycomycetes. So phycomycetes. So these phycomycetes, let us first discuss their habitat. Their habitat, they are found in aquatic habitats. They are aquatic, and they are also present in moist soil, decaying wood, then damp places, plant parasite. They may act as a plant parasites. So these are the habitats of these phycomycetes. Now regarding its structure, as you know, the most of the fungus consist of the mycelium. Mycelium means the network of hypha. Okay, the combination of network of hypha. Let us see what are the mycelium. What is the nature of the mycelium? The mycelium is accepted. I have already told you in my previous session what is accepted. Accepted means what? There is, suppose say this is the hypha. In the hypha, the nuclei are present. There is no septa between the nuclei. So this condition is called cynocytic. So this condition is called cynocytic. Means the cytoplasm is multi-nucleate. Okay. So here the cytoplasm of all the cells are continuous and there is no septa, means there is no cross wall. Okay. Now come to the reproduction. Okay. So regarding reproduction, they reproduce by asexual method as well as sexual methods. So let me first discuss the asexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction. Okay. So the asexual reproduction takes place by the formation of the zoospores. By zoospores. Very, very important, children. So what are these zoospores? The zoospores are motile and they are produced in sporangia. Okay. So the sporangia means I have already told you in your previous session. So it is a bulging structure. This is called sporangia, and inside which the spores are produced. The spores, when they are released, they are carried by either by the wind or by water. So they may also be motile. Then another spore they have is this is one. The second one is aplanospore. So they can reproduce asexually by zoospore and aplanospores. So what are aplanospores? Aplanospores are non-motile and they are also produced in sporangia. Now see, both of them are produced in the sporangia, but one of them is zoospore, which are motile, and one type is non-motile, which is called aplanospore. I think it is clear to you. Now come to the sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction. The sexual reproduction takes place, as you know, mostly the sexual reproduction takes place by the fusion of the gametes. Okay, so here the sexual reproduction takes place by fusion of gametes, and after the fusion of the gametes, what are formed? Zygospore. And how these zygospores are produced, that I have already explained in my previous session. So as you know, that plasmogamy, then karyogamy, then a zygote is formed, then the zygote undergoes meiosis and it forms the zygospores. Okay, now let us see what are the different types of gametes. So let me tell you the types of gametes. So there are different types of gametes, that is isogamous, which are where the gametes are similar. That means the fusing gametes are similar. Fusing gametes are similar. Very, very important, children, these terms. And so this is called isogametes. That means suppose this is a gamete and this is a gamete. So the gametes which are fused, they are similar. Okay. Now the next one is anisogamous. Anisogamous. So here what happens? One gamete is small and other gamete is large. Okay. So here small gamete and other gamete is large gamete. That means both the gametes are dissimilar. So it is known as anisogamous. Now next one is oogamous. So these are asked as one mark questions. So oogamous, here especially the large gamete is the egg. Okay, so this is large and non-motile, means it cannot move. But the other one is small, and this is called male gamete. The male gamete is small and motile. Okay, so these are the three types of gametes, children, you have to remember. That is the sexual reproduction may take place. It may be isogamous when the gametes are of similar size, shape, everything. The sexual reproduction is anisogamous when the one gamete is small and one gamete is large. And oogamous where one gamete, that is here there is differentiation between male and female gamete. The female gamete is large and it is non-motile, whereas the male gamete is small and motile. Okay, so now let us see what are the examples that comes under this. Examples, it includes mucor, rhizophos and albugo. Okay, so this is all about your the group Phycomycetes. Okay, now come to the next group, that is Ascomycetes. Now this Ascomycetes, the second one is Ascomycetes. So these Ascomycetes are otherwise known as sac fungi. Okay, let me first tell you their common characteristics. The common characteristics includes they are mostly multicellular, and rarely unicellular. Okay, that means here the septa are present between the cell, so the mycelium are septate. Is septate. Okay, so now as I have said you, this mostly they are multicellular. For example, penicillin. Sorry, penicillin is the antibiotic. Penicillium. And unicellular is Saccharomyces. Saccharomyces means what? Yeast. This is C. Saccharomyces. This is yeast. Okay. Now come to the details of this one. Let us first discuss the mode of nutrition. They are mainly saprophytic. They may be parasitic, and they act as a good decomposer. And the most important is they are coprophilous. What is coprophilous? Coprophilous means they grow on dung. Okay. So this is about their mode of nutrition. Now regarding the mycelium, the mycelium is branched and septate. Okay. Now come to the reproduction. Reproduction is of, as you know, it is of two types. That is reproduction. Reproduction is of two types. That is asexual reproduction and other one is sexual reproduction. Now, the asexual reproduction takes place by conidia. Okay, and these conidia are produced in the conidiophore. I have already shown you that in case of penicillium, the structure was like this. So the stalk on which the conidia are produced is called conidiophore. So conidia are the asexual reproducing spores. So they are produced on the conidiophore. Conidiophore. So this is conidiophore, and this conidiophore produces conidia. Then this conidia germinates and it forms a new mycelium. Okay, so this is the conidiophore and these are the conidia. These are conidia. Okay, so this is about the conidia. Now this conidia are produced exogenously. So conidia are produced exogenously. This is very, very important, children. So here you can see there is no such body inside which the conidia are produced. The conidia are produced externally and they are simply pinched off. They are simply pinched off and get separate from the conidiophore and they germinate into new mycelium. So remember they are produced exogenously. Okay, so spelling I have written wrong. Exogenously. Okay, now come to the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction takes place by the sexual spores, that is called ascospores. Ascospores. Okay, so these ascospores are produced inside a sac-like structure, a sac-like structure called ascos. Very important. Okay, and these ascos contains ascospores. Okay, and the fruiting body is called ascocarp. The fruiting body is called. So where these ascos are present? The ascos are present in the ascos present in the fruiting body called ascocarp. Okay, so this ascocarp contains the ascos. The plural is sc. Okay, plural is sc, and this sc contains the ascospores. So very important, children, ascocarp. Okay, now let me show you with the help of diagram. Okay, so this is the structure. Okay, so this is the structure of a ascocarp. This is a asco. This is ascocarp. Now this ascocarp contains your sac-like structures. So these are the sac-like structures, and these structures are known as ascos. And let me take a single ascos. The ascos contains the ascospores. Let me explain you once again. The sac-like structure, there is a fruiting body. This is known as the fruiting body. The ascocarp is the fruiting body. The ascocarp, in the ascocarp, the sac-like structures are present, that is called ascos. So here I have highlighted one of the ascos, and this ascos contains the ascospores. I think it is clear to you. Now let me tell you the examples. Examples are Aspergillus, then Claviceps and Neurospora. Okay, but there are some edible ascomycetes. Very important, children. They are morels. There will be no E. Morels and tuffles. Okay, and this is all about the ascomycetes. Now come to the next group, that is basidiomycetes. The basidiomycetes are commonly known as club fungi. Club, C-L-U-B, club fungi. Okay, and the common examples are mushroom, then bracket fungi, and puffball. Okay, now come to their habitat. They are found in soil, on logs, tree stumps, as a plant parasite also. Okay, so if you remember the location of the mushroom where they are found, because it is very common and you all have seen this, so accordingly you can write their habitat. Now come to their mycelium. The myceliums are branched and septate. Okay, so you have to remember, children, in which case the mycelium is branched, in which case it is septate, in which case it is aseptate. Okay, now come to the reproduction. Reproduction is of here we'll discuss about the two types of reproduction, that is your asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Okay, so asexual reproduction is usually absent. Okay, so asexual reproduction, very very important, usually absent. Okay, then what is the alternate mode of reproduction? The alternate mode of reproduction is vegetative reproduction. And this vegetative reproduction by fragmentation. I'm not discussing much about fragmentation because you have studied it in class 10th. Now come to the sexual reproduction. So mainly they reproduce by sexual reproduction, but they don't have sex organ. So sex organs absent. Okay, but however the sexual reproduction, it undergoes plasmogamy. So it involves the first stage is plasmogamy. Okay, and this plasmogamy takes place by the fusion of vegetative cell. Means the normal cells which provide structure to the mycelium, they itself act as the gametes and they fuse. Okay, so here the no such sex organs are available. Okay, then after the fusion of the cells, vegetative cells, a dikaryotic stage is formed. So after this, what is formed? The dikaryon. Okay, so here the two cells are fused, okay, to form a structure like this, where a single cytoplasm is having two nuclei. So this is N plus N, and this structure is called dikaryon. Now this dikaryon gives rise to basidium. It forms basidium. Okay. Now what happens in the basidium? In the basidium, now in the basidium, the karyogamy takes place. So what is karyogamy? Here the nuclei are fused and that becomes 2n. Okay, and the nucleus is diploid. Now this, after karyogamy, the diploid nucleus is formed, and then this diploid nucleus, or the cell, rather we can say, the cell divides by meiosis to form, as you know, in meiosis a single diploid cell divides twice to form 4 haploid daughter cells. Okay, so here after meiosis 4 cells are produced, and these 4 cells are the 4 basidiospores. Okay, so here what is formed? The basidium is formed, and inside the basidium the karyogamy takes place, and after karyogamy the diploid cell divides meiotically to form 4 basidiospores. Okay, now come to the characteristics of the basidiospores. The basidiospores are produced exogenously. So this is very important. Produced exogenously means not inside any fruiting body. They are produced outside the fruiting body, exogenously on basidium. On basidium. Very, very important. Okay. Now, where these basidiums are formed? Let me take the common example that you all know are the basidiocarp. Okay, so let me discuss the fruiting body. Means where it is the structure where the basidiums are produced. Okay, so the fruiting body is basidiocarp. The fruiting body is a basidiocarp. Let me show you the diagram. I am taking mushroom. Suppose say this is mushroom. Then here this is the fruiting body. The whole structure, this structure is the basidiocarp. Okay, the whole structure is the basidiocarp, that is the fruiting body where the basidium are formed. So these are the basidium, and inside the on the basidium, so not inside the basidium, on the basidium the basidiospores are produced. I think it is clear to you. Basidiocarp is the fruiting body. The whole structure is the fruiting body. The umbrella shaped structure that you see is the basidiocarp, and on the basidiocarp the basidiums are produced, and on the basidium exogenously the basidiospores are produced, which are the sexual spores. Okay, now come to the examples. The common examples are, I think I have given you the examples or not given. Okay, Examples are agaricus, ostilago, and puccinia. Okay, so this is all about basidiomycetes. Now come to the last one, that is deuteromycetes. Deuteromycetes. These deuteromycetes are known as imperfect fungi. Okay, and why they are called imperfect fungi? Why they are called? Okay, let me write here only. Imperfect. Sorry, I'm sorry. So they are known as imperfect fungi because their sexual stage is unknown. There is no specific sexual stage, and only asexual stage is known. So in all previous cases, you might have seen that all of them are having a sexual stage, but this is the only fungi or the fungal group which is not having a specific sexual stage. Its sexual stage is unknown. Okay, but when the sexual stage is discovered, okay, when the sexual stage is discovered, these deuteromycetes shifted to ascomycetes or basidiomycetes. Or basidiomycetes. Okay, that means initially there is no sexual stage, but whenever it discovers any sexual stage, either it reproduce sexually like the ascomycetes or by the or as like the basidiomycetes, then this group is shifted to ascomycetes or basidiomycetes. That's why it is called imperfect fungi. Now come to, as I have said you, they do not reproduce sexually, but they reproduce asexually. Now coming to their mycelium. The mycelium are septate and branched. Okay, and asexual reproduction takes place by conidia, conidia. I have already told you what is conidia. Now what is the importance of this group? Importance: they are the chief decomposers of the litter. Of a litter. Okay, litter means the fallen leaves, twigs, etc. Then they are also helpful in mineral cycling, and some of them are parasites. Okay, Some are parasites. Okay, and examples. The examples include Alternaria, then Coleotrichum, Coleototrichum, and Trichoderma. Okay, so these are the example of fungi imperfecti. Let me give you a comparative account of this one so that it will be easier for you to remember. Okay, so here I am dividing it into, okay, this is one, then here I am dividing this one, and okay, so let me take here the features, and here phycomycetes, here ascomycetes, here basidiomycetes, and here deuteromycetes. Okay, now I will take the features one by one. Mycelium. Mycelium, accepted, sinusitic. Okay, but here it is septate. Here also it is septate, and here also septate. The next is the asexual spores. The asexual spores are here zoospores or aplanospores. Okay, and here they are conidia. Here usually absent, and here also it is conidia. Okay, the next, sexual spores. The sexual spores, here it is zygospore. Sorry. Zygospore. Here ascospore. Here basidiospore. And here it is unknown. Okay. Now coming to the fruiting bodies. Fruiting bodies, here, okay, here it is absent, here present, unknown. Okay, then coming to the dikaryophase. Dikaryophase, here it is absent, here present, and here unknown. Okay, so this is the comparative account of all the 4 groups of fungi. Now the next kingdom is Plantae. Even though we are going to discuss in details in the next chapter, but here I will tell you I will explain you a little bit of this one. So, kingdom Plantae. Okay, so the kingdom Plantae, it includes the eukaryotic, chlorophyll containing organism. Okay, so since they are having chlorophyll, so they are autotrophic. Okay, now come to the general characters. As you know, they are eukaryotic. They are eukaryotic. So, true nucleus is present and membrane bound. Organelles are also present. Okay, and cell wall is made up of cellulose. Okay, so these are the general character of this kingdom Plantae, and it includes the plants. Now they are photosynthetic, and some plants are partially heterotrophic. So partially heterotrophic plants. So these partially heterotrophic plants means they are autotrophic, as well as they are having another mode of nutrition, that may be parasitic, that may be insectivorous, they may be insectivorous. So let us discuss one by one. First one is insectivorous plants. So here both photosynthesis plus capturing of the insect takes place. So here in insectivorous plant, here photosynthesis plus along with that captures insects. Why? To get additional nitrogen supply. Okay, and example is bladderwort, Venus flytrap. Okay, now the next one is parasitic. Parasitic example is the common example Cuscuta. They grow on the host plant. Absorb food. So their mode of nutrition is parasitic mode of nutrition. Okay. Now there are some major groups of Plantae. That we'll discuss in details in the next chapter. So I'm simply giving the names: algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. Okay, so we'll be discussing it in our next session, in the next chapter. Okay, now there is a most important concept we must know, that is alter I'm sorry alternation of generation. So what is this alternation of generation? Plants show two alternating phases in their life cycle. Two alternating phases in their life cycle. Okay, and what are these two phases? The two phases are sporophytic and gametophytic. So the gametophytic generation reproduce sexually, and the sporophytic generation reproduces asexually. Okay, that we'll discuss in our next chapter. Okay, and these the length of the sporophytic and gametophytic phases varies among the plant groups. One phase may be dominant, one phase may be for shorter duration, and it depends on the plant groups. Okay, now come to kingdom Animalia. Okay, so the kingdom Animalia, they are multicellular, eukaryotic, and heterotrophic. Okay, and you know the meaning of all these, and most importantly, cell wall is absent. Okay, now this here the nutrition is holozoic, and they mainly depend on the plants. They store the foods stored as glycogen and fat. This is important. I am giving you the important things. The rest of the things we will discuss in different chapters. Okay, they have definite growth, you know that the plants are having indefinite growth pattern, but here the growth pattern is definite. That means the adult attains a fixed shape and size beyond which it cannot grow, and they can also locomote, they can move. So the plants do not have movement, so they have the nervous system, they have muscles, they have the higher organisms are having skeletal system, and they have the sense organs. Okay, and they reproduce sexually. So this is all about the kingdom Animalia. Now we'll discuss some of the important organisms. Okay, what are those organisms? Very, very important, children. Viruses. Okay, so these are, what are viruses? Acellular, means cell organization is absent. Acellular infectious particle, they are not considered as living when they are present outside the host cell. So, not considered truly living because they lack cellular organization. Okay, and but they behave as living inside the host cell. Okay, now this let me tell you the discovery of this one, the virus is in 1892. Dimitri, remember the name? Dimitri Ivanovsky. Ivanovsky. Okay, this name is very, very important. He discovered agent causing tobacco mosaic disease. Tobacco mosaic disease. Then later on, M.W. Beijerning. I'm sorry. B-E-I. B-E-I. Beijernik. Z-N-C-K. In 1898. Please check the spelling from a textbook. I may be wrong. Named it virus. Okay, and he called it virus means what? Contagium vivum fluidum. Okay, that means infectious living fluid. Okay, now W.M. Stanley. W.M. Stanley in 1935. He discovered he crystallized viruses, and he showed that the viruses consists mainly of proteins. So all these discoveries you have to remember. So what are the components of a virus? The virus components of a virus. The components includes the protein coat, that is called capsid, and there is a genetic material. Okay, and this protein consists of the capsid consists of units called capsomeres. Okay, and now these genetic materials may be of two types. It may be RNA or DNA. So RNA mostly in plants. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. This is mostly in plant viruses. That means those virus that infect the plant are having the RNA as their genetic material, and DNA is the genetic material in bacteriophage and animal cell or the animal virus. Bacteriophage and animal virus, not animal cell. This is animal virus. Okay. Now let me discuss the structure of this the bacteriophage. Here, okay, here we can draw. Bacteriophage has the structure like this. My diagram is not so good. So it has the structure like this. Okay. This is the head. This is collar. This is tail fiber. So there are 6 tail fiber, and this is the basal plate, and this is neck. The head is having the genetic material. Okay, so this is the structure of a bacteriophage. Okay, now come to the next portion, next part. Okay. Okay. Animal viruses, as I have said you, that predominantly they are having the DNA as the genetic material. But some of the animal virus may also contain single stranded RNA, double stranded RNA, and double stranded DNA. So animal virus may contain single stranded RNA, double stranded RNA, and these two are rare, but mostly they have the double stranded DNA. Okay, and bacteriophage They have double-stranded DNA. They have double-stranded DNA. And plants, they are having plant viruses. They are having the RNA, single-stranded RNA. Okay. Now, so this is all about the viruses. Now, the viruses cause several animal and plant diseases. Basically, they cause the human diseases. The human diseases includes mumps, smallpox, herpes, influenza. I'm sorry, not influenza. It is AIDS, etc. And it also causes some plant diseases which includes mosaic formation. These are the symptoms. Okay, leaf rolling, leaf curling, then yellowing of the leaves, dwarfing means stunted growth. Okay, so the plant will not grow properly. Now we'll discuss about some other particles, that is viroids. Discovered by Theodore Otto. Remember, Otto Diener in 1971. Okay, so these are smaller than virus. They cause potato. Remember, this is very important. Potato spindle tuber disease. Okay, and it consists of only RNA. Only RNA means there is no protein coat. It is not having no protein coat. So virus is having protein coat and the genetic material which may be RNA or DNA. The viroids are the simply RNA particles. There is no protein coats. Okay. I think you can differentiate between virus and viroids. Then the next one is prions. The prions are the infectious, they are the infectious proteins. Okay, the previous one was the RNA, only RNA, but here there is no genetic material, only protein. Okay, so this consists of abnormally folded proteins and no nucleic acid. Means no RNA or DNA. Okay, and it causes disease In cattle, it causes bovine spongiform. Bovine spongiform, which is commonly known as mad cow disease. And in human, it causes, the spelling, it's very difficult to write, CREUTZ FELDT, I think. Still then you check it from your textbook. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Okay, CREUTZTELDT dash Jakob disease. Okay, so this is caused in human being. Now come to another organism, that is lichen. All of you know about this. That is lichen. So lichens are the mutual association between algae and fungi. Okay, so the algal partner is known as phycobiont and fungal partner is called mycobiont. Okay, now this phycobiont, it is the algae and it can undergo photosynthesis and provides, since it is photosynthetic, it provides food to fungi. Okay, but the fungi provide shelter to algae, and besides that absorbs water and minerals. Okay, it helps in absorbing the water and minerals, and these water and minerals are used by the used by the algae for the preparation of the food. Okay, and very very important, children, these lichens are the indicators of lichens are indicators of air pollution. So in polluted air, lichens are absent. Okay, so when there is disappearance of lichen, then you can know that this air is now polluted. Okay, so this is all about the fungi and all other particles like viroids, prions, and also we discussed about the lichens. So with this, your second chapter, biological classification, is over. So I will be giving you the questions, important questions, the assertion reason, MCQ, 2 marks, 3 marks, 4 marks and 5 mark questions from this chapter. So please go through the whole chapter, go through my video, note down in your copy, and very soon I'll be coming with the next chapter. Okay, till then, bye bye, thank you.